So next interesting question is yours to Dr. Kamlakar. So in assessing Lisfranc joint, is it mandatory to take weight-bearing X-rays all the time?
Yes. Yes, most of the time, any of the injuries regarding with the foot, it is always the weight-bearing thing. Unless it is severely painful where the patient cannot go for a weight bearing. But in a subtle injuries like Lisfranc, where it will be very anonymous when we take a normal X-ray, you will see everything is normal. But if you see a sign like telltale sign, what we see on the under surface, there will be a huge discoloration exactly at the first intermediate tarsal. That shows that there is an injury at that point. If you take a weight bearing X-ray, you can clearly see there is a separation there and a clear space becoming obvious. And it should be a comparative X-ray always. Both the legs. If that is there, then that is the most important, because most of the CTs, MRIs, whatever we do, all those things are non-weight bearing, and subtle injuries will be most commonly missed with this. So we have to get a weight bearing in any of the products.
Excellent. Another question: tight ropes versus screw fixation for syndesmosis, Dr. Praveen. What's your choice?
I've always used syndesmotic screw fixations. I have tried tight rope in a couple of patients. I was not very happy because I felt they stretched out post-operatively, so I would still prefer using screws.
Sure, yeah, screws all the time. So I don't think they say like screws are unforgiving, but ultimately the surgeon's ability. So reduce the syndesmosis directly under vision, anteriorly, and then screws.
Do you remove those screws?
No, I don't remove. I always use screws and then I don't remove. Three cortices and then give it.
So anybody removes this?
No, my thing is completely different.
Yeah. Okay.
Now the concepts have been changing in the syndesmosis also very much. Previously we were treating like what the screws and on the tight ropes we were talking about. But now syndesmosis is considered as a joint. Like what we do at a TMT joint, when you have a Lisfranc, where you use a plate like a spanning one. In the same way, the syndesmosis also has to be reduced in the similar scenario. The posterior nerve already we are fixing it with a plate and getting the posterior PATFL back. Then AATFL is to be fixed. That is, if it is an avulsion with a screw and everything. If it is not an avulsion, we are now using a fiber tape to anchor it through the plate, so which acts like a checkring on the anterior, because that was the most common reason where the malreduction happens. So posterior one close, anterior one close. The third and last comes is your IOL. That is interosseous ligament, which you can either support with a tight rope. So once your anterior and posterior is fixed, there is no chance of your syndesmosis going for a wrong thing, because your fibula contains into the incisor, and then the additional is given with this. So all your three are back. If you are going for a single screw, so what we are doing, the anterior translation and posterior translation, that was where the most of the malreductions were happening. The anterior translation or the rotation. So everything we want to control with one single device. So that is the reason the tight ropes were getting stretched out, and that is the reason where the malreductions were happening with the screw.
Excellent point. See, in these cases, when you have syndesmosis disruption, so what is your exposure and how do you assess anterior and posterior talus,
PATFL and AATFL. So it's the same single approach. See, most of the time that is one common motion what most of us has, that you have to take two different approaches to see for the AATF, but not. The only thing is when you are taking a fibular incision, your dissection is like a single flap down, and then you elevate everything up, directly DLA. What you do in a direct lateral approach, you take the single incision and then you lift everything from there. There you are able to go on to the tibia. So then we can even see the AATF. So that is what the max you need. So AATFL you are able to see, the bend sign of your syndesmosis you are going to see, everything through one. That small backstep of extending the incision was the reason why we are not extending into the syndesmosis. But with the DLA sort of approach of the fibula, you can happily go there.
So my question is, like, you have fixed you got the posterior malleus after you know that you have got your fibula in correct place, or in the syndesmosis. And why are we still fixing the AATFL?
No, the point is PATFL and AATFL, if you see, the rules are different. AATFL usually supports it from the external rotation. All the syndesmosis most of the time we fix and then we'll check it with the point of doing a test by pulling it. No, that is not. No, we external rotation. You give external rotation and see if your IOL is intact. If your IOL is intact and PATFL is back, possibly you can leave the AATFL. That is the only thing. But if your IOL is gone and only PATFL is there, then there is a problem that they might have a syndesmotic instability. You may not be able to assess that intraoperatively, but when the same patient starts walking post-operatively, you can see that extra movement, because that force what happens with the body weight and running is totally different.
Once you fix your posterior mal and put your syndesmotic screw, then do you still think think that your intraosseous ligament needs to be.
So that's the point. Sir. Most of the screws what we put, you are not removing. But have you ever observed what is happening to the bone there? There will be a lysis along the screw.
Naturally, it's a mobile joint. No, so when any screw is moving, it will. When
So what which is moving, is it not painful? Any loose screw which is moving, is it not painful?
So again, coming to your posterior lateral column analogy, how many have been complaining, Abhishek, because with this, so again, like with regards to the posterior column analogy of this patient not complaining.
Yeah.
Okay, do these patients complain as well?
Yes.
Syndesmotic thing.
Yeah.
Because we have not seen that. That's probably because we don't assess syndesmosis as good as you. That's what I'm asking.
Is it the malformation? Is it instability? Is it real?
Another thing, can't intraosseous ligaments heal?
No, it's not like intraosseous ligaments will heal. It totally depends on the demand of the patient. If he is a normal household worker or a normal person, he may not have much of an instability pointing to it. But a person who is into heavy activity, like a policeman or a running chap, they will come back. If you are not only fixing the PITFL and not doing anything for the syndesmosis.
And no, so the thing is like, okay, I have a posterior nerve, the shot it's syndesmosis. I fix the posterior nerve, PITFL is addressed, okay, and there is residual syndesmotic instability because we know that fixing the posterior nerve doesn't guarantee a syndesmotic stability. Okay, so I do a syndesmotic fixation with screws or tight ropes, okay, in the right manner. Okay, why shouldn't this work? Why shouldn't this work?
It will work. That's what I'm saying. Out of the three, two are in. If it is in the right place, it is yes.
Exactly.
But if it is, the problem is the second point comes up. Some people will have a stretching of tightrope. Why that happens? Only because the soft bones, because both the sides it is on the bone, and the bone starts getting moving. When it moves, there is a what we call as a subsidence of tightrope also. There are literature being reported that the tightrope itself can subside because of the soft bones.
Yes.
So there you are sending them back to the syndesmotic instability. Second point is when you are putting the screws, not 4 cortex, 3 cortices. The screw starts moving in the bone because syndesmosis is bound to move. You can't stop it.
The thing is, okay, now let's go back to a step back. How long will you immobilize?
The immobilization most of the time is like 5 weeks they might be in a slab at the max, but they'll start moving their ankle.
Yeah, so when you put in a screw and you immobilize them for 5 to 6 weeks, which wherever we are, and your ligaments have started to heal and they've stuck down together. So afterwards, because it's a joint, the screw moves. Because the joint is moving, the screw loosens up a little bit. By which time, the soft tissue should have healed. That's a problem.
The problem is syndesmosis heals after 12 weeks. There are instances where we remove the screw and here the skin is already holding even after that, right?
So then it should not be a problem.
Anyway, so
The issue is only if there is a malreduction.
yes,
Another issue is when you have avulsion of avulsions have to be fixed. These are the two things.
See, avulsions have to be fixed rather than that avulsion is there, it is easy to fix.
And then
I would put it that way.
I think out of all the things in the ankle fracture, I think the importance of getting back the length and rotation of the fibula is which we were not very keen. The length was the initial thing, then we realized it is the rotations.
Yeah.
So we looked for that. And the second thing is whether your fibula is falling back into the incisura or not. So I think these three are the main things what we
Look
need
at the
to
literature, there's a 40% malreduction rate in terms of fibula. So that's something if you're aware of it, you look for it, make sure it doesn't happen.
Yes.
And these are scenarios probably where a improper CP will be.
Absolutely.
So another indication for me.
The only thing is you have to get the CT for both of the things.
Both the legs.
It's okay. It actually does both of the you cannot exclude.
And that is when
If you want to stand.
the easiest study to be made actually.
No, but the good thing actually, the important points or take-away messages from this, the important thing is we all are, say let's assume that we are all general trauma surgeons. So, Kamlakar is a foot and ankle. So his depth of understanding versus a general trauma surgeon is entirely different. So his principles are absolutely spot on. But for a general, what is safe? I think that message you have to absolutely across.
So that is the same again. The length and rotation of fibula should be 100%.
You have to point that out.
Syndesmotic has to be 100%.
the reduction of the syndesmosis.
In the syndesmosis
sensation is
choice.
You have to go to a higher level to reach.